Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me for your part 3 of your weekend love reading for February 28th to March 1st, 2020. So I did actually have to break this into 3 parts because I ended up changing the layout for this love reading. And so I was being guided to do essentially energies between you and another person. And so we're going to be using this deck for your energy, another deck for their energy, so Dragon Tarot, Golden Dawn Tarot, and then clarifying yours with the Mystical Cat Tarot, and clarifying their energy with the Book of Thoth Tarot. And so this part 3 will be for signs Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And I did actually get a new deck, a new Oracle deck. I was talking about wanting to get a new deck, and so I got this beautiful deck. It's basically like spirit totems, animal messages, spirit animals, however you want to look at it. I essentially just I've always kind of worked with various animals. You know, every time I come across a specific type of animal, I usually will look it up on my phone. And so I came across this deck and it just seemed really fitting just for my own personal work. So keep in mind that time and energy are fluid. This message, while it is, explicitly set out to be about you and another person, the messages can go vice versa. So that said, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Don't force it if it doesn't fit. Yeah, and if you'd like to watch part 1 and 2, I'll have them in the description. Part 1 is Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Part 2 is Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. So, I'm going to take a deep breath so I may connect with my higher self and spirit more clearly, and I do implore you to do the same. Call out to Spirit to please help myself and anyone watching this. Please hear, see, and know anything we need to hear, see, and know and love for the weekend of February 28th to March 1st, 2020. So, hello Sagittarius. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've had a beautiful week. Keep in mind this can apply to any aspect of your chart. If you do not have a Sagittarius placement, you will have Sagittarius in one of your houses. So I do implore you to have your chart open while we do this reading. It can provide a lot of different opportunities to explore how these messages apply to you in different ways. So first we're going to pull for your energies. Okay, Sag, what do we have? We have Ace of Wands. We have the Star. It's actually really nice. Just starting out as... First of all, those are beautiful cards. I love this deck. Ace of Wands and the Star to me is talking about, like, if it's in the context of your energy, what I find interesting is the Star has the same symbolism that we see in Temperance from the Golden Dawn Tarot. In Temperance, the figure is pouring out a blue and a red jugs full of water, and it looks like the Star here is doing the same. Not the same colors, but to me this just represents like divine timing and divine blessings, especially with the Ace of Wands here. So it's almost like you're in the space of like you're ready for something new. And it's like things are kind of aligning for you is what it feels like. So let's see what's in the energy field of somebody you may be dealing with, or perhaps even a new person if you're not dealing with anybody. So Princess of Swords, and then Six of Swords reverse. So I'm picking up on a story of, you know, if this is in the context of somebody you're dealing with, being told it's somebody new perhaps. Essentially what I'm seeing here is you may be in the space of really wanting to take things, not take things to another level, but like start forming some type of, oh, you know what? This is actually coming up, you know, I'm being shown it's almost like you have this type of energy where you kind of just want to have fun. That's what makes sense as to why you're not looking to take it to the next level. So maybe you're just trying to have fun. Maybe you're just like in a space where it's like you've been through a lot and you're really just looking to have a good time. And this person that you may be dealing with, or perhaps, you know, if you're dealing with multiple people, you know, I'm not passing any judgment, but it is looking like it is making somebody uncomfortable, is what I'm seeing. Whoever you're dealing with, the Six of Swords reverse is telling me that, like, Six of Swords in the upright often represents, moving to calmer waters. Five of Swords can often represent, conflict in a relationship or in the mind. But since we don't have a 5 here, we do have the Six of Swords reverse. And so that to me also kind of represents a type of imbalance. Type of mental fog is what I'm hearing. So it's almost as if the person you're dealing with is in a mental fog. And it may be causing them to make premature, immature decisions, I suppose. Let's delve into this, clarify a little bit. So for your energy, we have the Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and the Tower. Yeah, I'm gonna clarify theirs too. What I'm really feeling here with the Wheel. The Wheel can represent, karma, karmic retribution, especially since we have the Tower next to it. So you may be in a space where you may be feeling like the universe is kind of, maybe it's almost I'm feeling as if maybe this connection, or actually noticing we do have the Magician at the bottom of the deck, so it's almost feeling like something that you wanted to come together isn't coming together in the way you thought it would, but it's for your highest good is what I'm hearing. So it's like maybe you were feeling like maybe this was divinely orchestrated, or this is something that you wanted to pursue, whether or not you were whatever level of commitment doesn't matter. But since we have the Magician at the bottom of the deck here, and then we do have the Tower, the Wheel, and the Star, that's essentially just showing me it's like this is kind of like a karmic cycle running its course. Not necessarily with a particular person, but a particular cycle in relationships that you've been repeating. Yeah, so yeah, that makes perfect sense. We have the Ace of Cups reverse and the Sun. And so right now it's looking like I can see this one of two ways. So this person is feeling if they're feeling within their own energy, they may be feeling a lack of emotional independence. Excuse me. There's this feeling of maybe like wanting to start something, but not necessarily feeling like they can start in a way that is conducive to like commitment, I suppose. It's almost like conflicting energies, because it's like we have the Ace of Cups reverse and then we have the Sun. And so the Sun to me represents, like new beginnings, blessings and abundance. It's a beautiful card to have in any spread, really. But what I'm kind of feeling, it's like what was coming up earlier, is as if you're like looking at this person, and you may see them as the Sun, you may see them as somebody that you again wanted to start something with, but the Ace of Cups reverse is telling me like that's not really happening, and it looks like it's on their part. They maybe decided to not move forward in a way you would hope. So we're gonna actually clarify I'm gonna get the energy and like lesson between you two right now. Oops, that did not shuffle well. Excuse me. So we're going to pull an animal oracle to get the lesson and energy between you two. You have the butterfly. Yeah. It says delight in life and embrace change as the source of your creativity. So I mean, butterfly symbolism to me has always been one representative of transformation. I mean, if you think about the gestation period of a caterpillar and the entire process that it goes through to become a butterfly, it's kind of like I'm seeing this relationship, particularly as the capsule that is facilitating your own growth. It's like this. It's like you are the caterpillar, and this dynamic is the cocoon that is facilitating your gestation and your transformation. And so it's basically just kind of like a reminder, like even though this seems to be falling apart, quote unquote, because that can mean so many different things, I think if anything, this is falling apart for something better to come along for you. Because this doesn't really feel like somebody who feels the same way. And it doesn't really, like, the fact that we have the Ace of Wands and then the Ace of Cups reverse, it's like they're just not vibing. I don't know what to say. It's just kind of what's coming through. Let's see, we're going to pull one last little card here. Yeah, so Two of Pentacles can represent cycles, can represent balance. I think in this case, since we do have it clarifying the butterfly as the energy between you two. I'm feeling like right now, I mean, if this was something to come together, it's not really going to come together right now. So if this is somebody that you had your heart set on and it's just not going the way you wanted it to, you're going to have to let go of your attachment to any outcomes, is what I'm being told. So, I mean, that's really all I'm getting here. I'm not really getting too many other messages. So I think right now, Spirit's advice to you is just try to find the silver lining in things that don't work out. Focus on building yourself, focus on your own transformation, and learn what you can from the situation, and just try not to force it to be something it's not, because if it is meant to be something more than what it is, you have to trust that it will unfold in the divine timing that it's meant to. I do think it, to some degree, most if not all relationships do have an aspect of divine timing to them, regardless of whether they are romantic or not. And so I think that applies here. But that is all I have for you, Sagittarius. If you would like to book a personal reading, please send me an email to zardoshepard@gmail.com. I do have details in the description. I love you so much, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Hello, Capricorn. Hope you're doing well. This reading is going to be set up a little different. We're going to be doing Dragon Tarot deck for your energy, Golden Dawn Tarot deck for the other person's energy you're dealing with, Mystical Cat Tarot clarifying yours, Book of Thoth Tarot clarifying theirs, and then we're going to get the energies between both of you using the Animal Oracle deck, which is a beautiful deck. It's a new deck I got. It has animal messages and all the symbolisms, and it's kind of open to interpretation. They do have little messages in the books, but I just have my own experiences with certain animals, and I feel like it helps me clarify certain things. So, that said, keep in mind that this can apply to any aspect of your chart. If you do not have a Capricorn placement, you will have Capricorn in one of your houses. So I do implore you to have your chart open while we do this reading. So don't force anything if it doesn't resonate. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If the message doesn't apply to you right now, it could apply to you at another time. Even though this is set for February 28th to March 1st, this can honestly apply at any time you watch it. So we're going to cut the deck, get your energies for this weekend. Already see the King of Pentacles, looks like you're showing up. We have the Ace of Swords reverse, and we have the Chariot. King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to set that over there though. Let's see. Who's the other person you're dealing with? I'm feeling like for you right now, it's not a good time to move forward if you're not seeing things clearly. And Mercury retrograde is often a time for us to... It's a time in which we may feel mental fog, like clouding our ability to make conscious decisions in relationships. And so it's not saying, hey, stop, don't do anything, but it's more so like, hey, you need to take precautions and, like, what is it, dot all your I's and cross all your T's? What is it that's saying? So let's get the energy of the other person you're dealing with. Three of Cups reverse and the Emperor reverse. So this very well may be, a divine partnership. For me, when I see the Emperor and the Empress come out, or any types of counterparts, King and the Queen within the same suit, or even opposite suits, the Prince of Cups bottom of the deck too. So this can apply to your inner masculine energy, but given the fact that we do have this as another person's energy that you're dealing with the Three of Cups reverse, I'm basically feeling like it's like this person is in a space. Okay, yeah. So being shown a story where two people, may be talking, there may be interest on both ends, but this person over here is in a deep state of healing. And if you're into if you watch any divine counterpart readings or twin flame readings, my own definition of twin flame is a little different than some of the definitions I see in some of the stuff that people go on. But it really doesn't matter how you define it. Whatever it means to you is honestly, if that's your truth, that's your truth. But this kind of resonates a lot with what I've been seeing with some of the divine masculine energies that have been coming through. So if you do find yourself in a counterpart situation and that resonates with you and you feel like you're on that journey, then this message could most definitely apply to you. But if not, then just leave what doesn't resonate. But at the same time, like, it can still apply to your inner masculine energies, because these energies can be vice versa. And so I'm feeling like this masculine energy here, because the Emperor's in reverse and the Three of Cups reverse, they may be feeling like there's no sense of celebration. There's no celebratory energy going on here. You know, there may have been, you know, a closing out of a third-party situation, whether with you and somebody else, or with their last partner and somebody else. It can really go any way, but there is a sense of needing to heal. And so what I'm seeing here with your energy, because we have the Ace of Swords reverse, it's like you're kind of not seeing this clearly. You're seeing this person's distance as disinterest, but it's not necessarily disinterest, more so than it is them being in a state of needing to kind of like isolate themselves and remain in solitude. And given it is Mercury retrograde, it makes perfect sense as to why the energy would be coming up. And it is Pisces season, so keep that in mind. It's an emotional season. Okay. You have Six of Cups for you. Some people say the Six of Cups is the soulmate card. I do like to think of it that way as well, but I do also see it as like a past partner card. Or it's kind of like the card of nostalgia. So we're going to pull one more card to clarify yours here. We do have Good Kitty reverse. So I think what I'm being told is, like, if you really are serious about this person, if this is somebody that you do want to work things out with, I'm being told by Spirit to not let the disillusionment, you know, like, influence you to go back to situations out of like insecurity or out of lack of ability to be alone, if that makes sense. Which is saying a lot, because I have a lot of Capricorn placements, and from what I've known of Capricorn placements, solitude is a beautiful thing for Capricorns. Capricorns love to just not lock themselves away, but just bury themselves in work, just because work is fun for a lot of people. At least for me, I know with my Cappy placements, I love to work. As long as I'm doing something I love, and oftentimes Capricorns are like building various aspects of our lives, you know, in ways that they do find enjoyable. And so what I'm seeing right now is this person may be seeing that as well. And so it's almost as if this person is kind of like wondering, it's like there's like a distance between both of you, but it seems to be reflected in each person. And this person may be feeling like both of you may be wondering, oh, is this person going back? Are they talking to somebody else? But the reality is, it's like on one end, you have the divine masculine energy and solitude and a healing process. And in the other end, you have you just like doing your thing, just like, you know, doing what Capricorns do best. But it's like, don't let your wonderment force you to go back to somebody else out of boredom or whatever it is you feel you need to go back to another person. You know, I think if anything, a mindful conversation about your emotions is a good way to go about it. But like, not in a way that's like accusatory. Like, don't sit there and like, hey, like I know you're talking to this person, blah, blah, blah. Especially if it's not like a committed relationship. It's not really your place to tell people who they can and can't talk to, who they can and can't see. Even within a relationship, I mean, I don't think it's okay to demand who people can and can't see. You know, people are humans. People have relationships and friendships. And it's, I don't know, as difficult as it is to accept, sometimes it's not our place to judge, you know, who people associate with, and it's not our place to determine whether they can or cannot. It is your place to determine whether or not you want to continue to operate within the same dynamics, or if you want to set a boundary or shift your own way of interacting. But we're going to clarify this person's energy here. We have the Hermit. Oh, I haven't seen the Hermit in this deck in a long time. We have the Hermits, and we have the Eight of Wands reverse. So this is basically clarifying what I was saying earlier. We get the Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And so the Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck tells me that there is a sense of maybe a lackluster sense of emotional fulfillment. And it's because either you or this person are seeking emotional fulfillment outside of yourselves. And I think a big lesson for a lot of us right now, especially with Mercury retrograde, is we can't continue to try to find emotional sustenance through other people, or even like if in the terms of like career, like you can't expect to just have career be what fulfills you all the time, because at some point, you're going to reach, after you reach that milestone, you're just going to set another milestone, and it's this constant cycle of setting and moving and never really taking time to breathe and evaluate if you're happy doing what you're doing, because I feel like a lot of that happiness and fulfillment needs to come from within yourself, so that way you don't have anybody or anything else serve as that funnel, because the moment that person or thing fails to meet that need, there's a disappointment there because you projected expectations onto them. So we're going to actually clarify the energy / lesson between you two using the Animal Oracle deck. I love this deck for clarification in ways that it's like a really good way to evaluate where you need to grow within a relationship or even outside of a relationship, whatever topic it is. But so far, since I've been incorporating this deck for the readings for both parts, it's been really beautiful, amazing, conducive to growth. It's been great. So let's see, what do we have for you two? We have the Deer. So it says, take note of the messages in whispers and secrets adrift on the breeze. And so right away, this is telling me, to me, this is like a trust your intuition card, is what I'm picking up with this. If you do know anything about deer, they are very agile creatures. They do tend to frighten easily. I don't know like a whole lot about deers. I just know enough from what I've seen, around the internet. I think I have seen a deer once, a long time ago when I was a kid. It was really cool. But to me, deer are very magical creatures, as are all animals. But I think in this context, the lesson between both of you right now is, because there's distance, because there's solitude, looking like a solitude on both ends, there needs to be a sense of trust within yourself and the messages that you get within yourself. And so kind of learning to trust your own internal compass and not relying so much on the external validation of whether this person, acts in a certain way. Because keep in mind, like, if you're still getting to know somebody, like, people are still changing and growing as the relationship progresses, and it is bound to cause some type of disruption if you hold them to who they used to be and don't allow them the space to grow that they need. So we're going to pull one last little clarification here for you. Between you two is the Five of Swords. So basically what I'm getting with this Five of Swords and the Deer as a lesson energy between you two is, you need to, instead of like coming at each other, or just like, let's say like I'm like getting the message of like people on social media like taking little shots here and there, like subtweeting and like vaguing and stuff, and to just be very careful of that, because a lot of the times when there's intense emotions involved, we tend to misinterpret people's actions or lack thereof. And so it's the message here, and the advice to you to close this reading is to be very cautious of how you're going to be moving forward from this point with this person. More so how you're going to be, like, if you're somebody that's known to like post about somebody, like really just like a vague post about them without actually confronting them about it, that's going to cause a lot more harm than it's going to cause a lot more harm than not, if that makes sense. If that's what you want to do, I'm not going to stop you, but I think the advice from Spirit right now is to be very careful of that. Because it's not looking like this person, given the state that they're in, this divine masculine energy, is likely trying their best to do their own healing. And maybe that's the reason there's distance. They don't want you to feel as if they're relying on you for their own, not therapy sessions, but just not relying on you for help all the time, and not always coming to you for help, maybe because that can feel like a burden to a lot of people. And that's kind of what I'm picking up here, is this person doesn't want to feel like a burden to you. So maybe that's a big reason why they're a little bit more closed off and reserved, maybe even more so than usual, because they're learning to find that balance within their own way, in a way that doesn't rely on turning to other people. But that just concludes your section of the reading, Capricorn. I love you so much. If you would like to book a personal reading, please send me an email to desargoshepard@gmail.com. I do have details in the description. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. I know where I am, the weather's going to be beautiful. It's been kind of cloudy lately, which I like, but it's starting to warm up a little bit, which is nice, because the nighttime is not as cold. Anyways. Hello Aquarius, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a beautiful week and beautiful weekend. I'm doing this reading a little bit different, so the Dragon Tarot is going to be for your energy, the Golden Dawn Tarot is going to be for another person's energy. We're going to be clarifying here with the Mystical Cat Tarot for your energy, and the Book of Thought Tarot for the other person's energy. And we are going to be using a new deck today that I got this week. It's the Animal Messages deck. It's a nice, quick little animal message. They do have messages in the book, but I do find that I don't always need those due to just like channeling and my own interpretations. So keep in mind this can apply to any aspect of your chart. If you do not have an Aquarian placement, you will have Aquarius in a house. So I do implore you to have your chart open while we do this reading. So we're going to pull the energies for you in love this weekend, February 28th to March 1st, 2020. Last shuffle. See, I'm already getting close to my cutoff for my video. I've been going a little bit longer with these readings, so here we go. Your energy for the week, Aquarius, is Ace of Wands reverse, then the Star reverse. It's funny, these two cards actually came out for Sagittarius, but they were in the upright. Okay, you're going to get the two energies. Another person, got the Hermit. Okay, Hermit and the Seven of Cups reversed. So I'm getting like a message like between both of you right now. It seems like both of you are in this. This is actually very similar to the energy I got for Capricorn. And for actually many of the other signs, it's a really collective energy right now. It feels like a lot of us are in this space of, going inward, doing a lot of healing, focusing on ourselves. The Hermit to the Seven of Cups reverse is telling me this person may not be feeling very hopeful about the relationship, and it's looking like you may be feeling the same. So yeah, because we have the Five of Cups here, and the Ceton, which is Knight of Cups reverse. So it's basically looking like you're not necessarily giving this person much love. It feels like a very cold type of energy. You may be giving them the cold shoulder. Whether or not that's intentional, it really depends on the situation. I'm feeling like it's not intentional. I'm feeling like it's just because of this Hermit energy seems not to still apply to this person, but given these energies are fluid, it really feels like both parties are in this state of really going inward right now. And there's not many messages of love going back and forth. So let's get some clarification here. We have the Fool, and we have the Three of Wands. And so I'm feeling like this person does want to take they do want to take this opportunity to build with you. But because of the current energy, not just within the collective, but within this reading, it's feeling like right now is just not the time to move forward with that, due to the need for inner work. Because our inner work serves as the foundation that brings balance into relationships. So clarifying the energy between you two. Animal message, we have the Bat. So you have the power to transcend failure and move into a limitless future. And so essentially what this card is indicating is that you need to... It's kind of like an energy of like manifestation energy. Because if you think about bats, they don't necessarily have the best vision, right? And so it's like they I forgot the name of it, but they use sound to navigate. Basically, they bounce sound off of they make sound and then it bounces off of various surroundings, and they're able to determine their directional nature through that. And so given that in the context of the relationship, it's kind of like hearing the whispers between the words and kind of learning to appreciate the ebbs and flows of a relationship, and understanding that like it's okay to change your mind is what I'm being told, like especially with your energy here, like it's okay to change your mind about this person. Like if this person does want to start something but you're not feeling it, or with the Five of Cups, maybe you're in a place where you're just focusing on your past heartbreaks, you know what I mean? This Knight of Cups in reverse is telling me you may be feeling a little bit heartbroken, not either over this person or somebody from your past, but we're going to get one final clarifying card here, the Five of Pentacles being between both of you with the Bat. And so that essentially is telling me that you need to embrace change. You need to embrace the shifting and the ebbs and flows of this relationship. Honestly, and that's really kind of all that's coming through. I'm not getting too much else for this. Just take the time to go inward, appreciate the breaks, appreciate the ebbs and flows, but more than anything, like if something isn't working out, and this can go for either a cross watcher or you, understand that like that is going to lead you to something better, especially as I move into a limitless future. Like, don't limit yourself to somebody who isn't fulfilling to your life, somebody who isn't if somebody is unhealthy for you, recognize that and make your shifts accordingly. But that concludes your reading for the weekend, Aquarius. I do love you so much, and have a beautiful week. If you'd like a book personal reading, send me an email to desirabushepherd@gmail.com, and you have the details in the description. Hello, Pisces. I hope you're doing well. We're going to be doing the reading a bit differently this week, so we're going to use the Dragon Tarot for your energy, and the Golden Dawn Tarot for another person's energy, clarifying with the Mystical Cat Tarot for your energy, and the Book of Thought Tarot for their energy. And we will be using a new deck today. Got an Animal Oracle deck, very beautiful. I got it last week. Love it very much. It's going to be used to clarify the lessons and energies between you and another person you may be dealing with. Keep in mind this can apply to any aspect of your chart, so if you do not have a Piscean placement, you will have it in one of your houses. That said, I do implore you to have your chart open while we do this reading, but without further ado, we will be getting to the energies for you for this weekend, February 28th through March 1st. Actually, no shuffles. 2020. So let's see. So we have Queen of Swords reverse and the Sun. And we actually have the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck here. Set that right over here. So what I'm feeling with this is like Queen of Swords is often, especially in the reverse, is somebody who's feeling very vindictive, very defensive, very sure of themselves, but in a way that is essentially, it's like shutting things out that don't need to be shut out because of your defensiveness. And especially with the Sun here, so the Sun is telling me is like something may be trying to come into your life, but because you're very, especially because it's Pisces season, so it's like I know it can get difficult, especially when we're in water seasons and we have Mercury retrograde in Pisces. And so it can be a very emotional time, and there's nothing wrong with being emotional. There's really nothing wrong with needing to step back. So let's get the energies of another person. We have the Two of Cups. And the Prince of Swords, yeah, so this is telling me that somebody is trying to come into your life right now, but they may be seeing you as somebody who's a little bit defensive. And if it's because you're hurt from the past and you're afraid of the same thing happening, you know, that's perfectly normal, and you shouldn't beat yourself up for that, but you should recognize that that is something that is operating within your life. So it looks as if the Two of Cups and the Prince of Swords, it's like this prince wants to come forward. It looks like this can represent the card of choices or balance, emotional balance, but it does feel like a type of love energy, especially with the Sun here. So it's like you see this person and you do want to move forward with them, but there's a sense of kind of apprehension here. So let's kind of delve into, these came out, perfect. So the Hermit reversed and the Ace of Swords reversed. And so this is telling me in order for you to get clear with this person and what's really going on with this relationship, you need to take the time to really just go inward. Like, honestly, really learn to sift through some of the heavier emotions you may be feeling. Recognize that not all of those emotions are tied to a new person. They are often representative of our own internal dialogue that needs to be addressed. Ace of Swords reversed essentially tells me you're not seeing things clearly. You may not be seeing this person clearly in a relationship. Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups reversed on their end. So this is telling me they are having a hard time. It's like they're having a hard time letting go. And so now I'm getting the story of like a relationship where you two, if this is somebody you've been dealing with for a while, and if this is actually a continuation of last Pisces readings, this would make a little bit of sense, where there's a sense of kind of needing to step away from unfulfilling situations. And so this is actually kind of looking like if this was you and you decided to take that move, this may be representative of what you're feeling, right? So it's like you kind of are trying to revive that playfulness within yourself. But it's like the sense of like you may have taken the steps you wanted to take, but you took them from a place of not understanding why you were taking them. And so this person may be having a hard time letting go of you right now. They may be having a hard time of processing the space. Because the Nine of Cups reversed tells it can be a very selfish energy. And so maybe that's why you're feeling a little unfulfilled with this person, and you're kind of Queen of Swords reverse on them right now. You're kind of out in the cold, leaving them out in the cold because you're tired of them being selfish. You're tired of them always putting themselves first. Prince of Swords can be representative of somebody who is really immature in the sense of maybe watching you from afar, not necessarily always speaking their mind, but we do have the Cobra in between energy for you too. And it says change is inevitable, but with it comes a chance to shed a burden. And so what I'm being told right now is like, if like this relationship, this can apply to both of you, like change again is inevitable. You know, shed the old ways of the relationship if you want to continue with this, and recognize that any and all relationships go through metamorphosis. You know, they do shed their old layers as you change as people. And, you know, over the course of a relationship, your true colors are going to become known to each person, especially as you change, especially as you know, have arguments or you hurt each other or whatever happens. So one last card to clarify is the Hermit. So I think the advice to both of you right now, especially if you're a cross watcher, is you both really need to take the time to go inward. You need to really evaluate this relationship and how you want to move forward in the relationship. Because moving forward in any other way, moving forward in a way that is a vindictive selfishness is different than moving in a way that you know is best for yourself. But I think both people need to recognize that if something isn't working, you do not want to force it. You cannot try to fit a relationship into a box, especially if that is limiting to one or both people. So ending of your reading right now is really just take this time, take some time this weekend to detach from everything, take some time this weekend to try to understand what is going on within yourself before trying to move forward with anything or walk away from anything. Really just try to understand your motives, your needs versus your desires, and what the universe is trying to show you right now. But that actually does conclude your reading for the weekend. Pisces, thank you so much. I love you. If you would like to book a personal reading, please send me an email to gisargoshipper@gmail.com. I do have details in the description. If you would like to watch part 1 or 2 of this reading, I will also have that in the description. But that does conclude the reading for this weekend. I love you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye.